Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a recent tweet made by Ninjago series head writer Doc Wyatt that does tease future events for Ninjago Dragons Rising, probably during Season 3 of the series. With that being said, this video will contain spoilers for Season 2 Part 2 of Ninjago Dragons Rising. By the way, these spoiler warnings will be going away by next week, so you might want to watch Season 2 Part 2 of Dragons Rising if you have not done so just yet. Now, in terms of what was said, admittedly this is a little bit interesting but also a little bit concerning, more on that here in a second, but someone proposed this question over on Twitter. How can elemental powers create dragon icons? How many of them do you need to make one? Doc Wyatt replies, more on this in time. Yeah, because Season 2 Part 2, the overall goal of Lord Ras was to use Noct to win the Tournament of the Sources, then take all of those elemental powers to the Cauldron of Realms, where presumably he would make dragon icons that could summon the Source Dragons, therefore he could conquer the Source Dragons, all of that good stuff. His plan ultimately failed, and all of the elemental powers returned back to their normal hosts following the Tournament of the Sources. However, it was never fully addressed how many elemental powers are needed to make a dragon icon. You certainly do not need every elemental power out there, as not every elemental master partook in the Tournament of the Sources. But you would need a specific amount. Apparently that amount will be addressed in later seasons, I imagine, possibly even Season 3. What I'm concerned about, though, is that there are obviously other methods to making dragon icons. In fact, we saw that in Season 2 Part 2 when the Source Dragon of Motion gifted Lloyd with a dragon icon. What I'm curious about, though, is whether or not Dragons Rising Season 3 or a season beyond will introduce a new method for mortals to create dragon icons. I feel like they will, considering that Dragons Rising has done something like this before with the Blood Moon. The Blood Moon was the only way to open Nether Space as addressed in Season 2 Part 1, but then in Season 2 Part 2, we suddenly have a new method to access Nether Space. It very much disrupts the narrative, at least in my opinion. I feel like perhaps Season 3 or a future season will introduce something similar with the dragon icons, because also narratively speaking, I doubt that we will have another Tournament of the Sources, and I doubt that there will be another way of a lot of elemental masters' powers being stolen, because again, that would just be rather redundant. Instead, what I think they should do is maybe have the Source Dragon of Motion be the key to making other dragon icons, if that's even possible. Maybe when Lloyd uses his dragon icon to summon the Source Dragon of Motion, that is when Lord Ras could capture the Source Dragon of Motion, as seen in the Source Dragon of Motion set. Maybe he will use her to create other dragon icons capable of summoning the other Source Dragons. Maybe he tortures her to create these dragon icons. That could also be what finally drives Eren away from Lord Ras, seeing how much he's willing to torture dragons to destroy the other Source Dragons. But who's to say? Ultimately, bottom line, we will find out more about dragon icons in the future and how many elemental powers you need to make one, and I'm excited to see all of that, though I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't at least a little bit concerned regarding what happened with Dragons Rising Season 2 just in general. But with that being said, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. What exactly do you think about this tweet? How exactly do you think Dragons Rising Season 3 or beyond will address and answer this question? Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.